Good morning, everyone. My name is Eric, and I'm a producer based in New York and Japan. And I'm very proud to present to you a very exciting young up-and-coming director, Takeshi, whose first film was made between Liberia and New York. He studied filmmaking in New York. And for his second film, which I think is equally ambitious, we're going back to his home region of Hokkaido in Japan.
Hi everyone, I'm Takeshi Fukunaga. So like Eric said, I'm born and raised in northern Japan, Hokkaido, and this is a movie about indigenous people there. Actually, we can put up a poster. So the title of the movie, Ainumos here, means quiet land of humans in Ainu language. That was a name for the Hokkaido before Japanese people came and took over the land. First, I would like to talk a little bit about Ainu. They have gone through the history of forced assimilation by Japanese people for centuries. And today, there's no native speaker of their own language. And the culture is really in the danger of disappearing. The official research says the number of Ainu people are about 17,000, but the number can be multiplied because many of them still choose to hide their backgrounds. And growing up in Hokkaido, I experienced this personally. I had friends and relatives who are Ainu, but they never openly spoke about their backgrounds. And I guess we can show the scene. So I forgot the order. But so this is, so Ainu to me was like a taboo I was really drawn to, but never had a chance to learn about. And for me to be able to make this movie is really to learn about them and then the history of the land that I'm from. And in the scene we're gonna show, we are working with no actors, and we like to, in the scene you're gonna see the main characters and no actors, Kanto and Devo.
うん、そこもうちょっと力入れて押してみる。そうそうそうそう。まあまあうまいぞお前。関東昨日父さん見たって。うん。お前の父さん関東のこと結構気にかけてたからな。会いに来たんじゃないのか。
まさかもう死んでんだから。
この先によ光の森あるの知ってるべ。うん。あの光の森のずっと奥に崖あってな。
崖。
その下に洞窟あって、その洞窟ずっと行くと死んだ人らが暮らしているアイヌの村あるんだってよ。父さんそこ通ってきたかもしらんぞ。
まさか。
でもよ、伝説にはやっぱり最初本当の話ってあるのだからな。
もしだけどさ、その話が本当だとしてこっちからその村に行くことってできるの？
いや、こっちからはいけないんだ。だけど向こうからは稀に来ることできるんだって伝説ではそうなってる。
なんだよそれ。ずるいな。
もういいんでかそれぐらいで。ちょっと貸して。お前鳴らし方知ってんのべ？うん。よしよしやってみれ。
こうやってやって。お、いい感じ。
いい。 元の話みたい。
So the story of the movie is set today in this rural town where a small community of Ainu people embraces tourism as a way to make a living. And their dilemma is to be true to their Ainu heritage while selling a superficial version of their culture. The main character is the kid you saw, 14 years old Ainu boy, and named Kanto. And Kanto lost his father 1 year before the movie starts, and he feels disconnected to his Ainu roots and lost motivation to be a part of the community. And the other character you saw, the Debo, who is a local leader in this town, becomes concerned about Kanto and try to bring him back to the community. And under his guidance, Kanto slowly relearns about culture, and through this, he gradually grows a spiritual connection to his father. But then Debo starts making Kanto help raise a bear cub he's been keeping secretly. And when Kanto becomes more and more attached to the bear, he finds out that Debo's plan to revive this traditional ritual called Iomante, where a bear has to be sacrificed. And to Kanto, the bear's life is a lot more important than to keep the culture alive. So he opposes to the ritual, and it challenges him to be fully engaged with the culture and the community. In the end, he participates in the ritual, and when he could honor and bid farewell to the spirit of the bear, he could finally come to terms with his death of his father. So that's the story, and I've been working on this for the past 3 years, gradually developing the relationship with people in the community. And we are fortunate to have gained support and trust from these people. Without them, we couldn't have made this movie. To me, one of the most important things to make this movie is to really bring out true characters of these non-actors. Most of the characters and events are based on the true stories and people that I met, and then through the people I met and then talked to. And we are making with a bare minimum crew to create like an intimate and comfortable environment. And instead of asking them to memorize the lines, I'm asking them to improvise and speak with their own words. I guess this is really my dream project that I've been wanting to make for many years. And this is not about exotic indigenous people. This is about true humans who are on journey to explore identities and discover themselves.
This project was in the Cinefondacion residency and NHK Sundance Lab before coming to Jerusalem. Excuse me. We are a U.S.-Japan co-production with about half U.S. crew, including the DP Sean Price Williams, who's shot Good Time by the Safdies last year, and a lot of prominent New York independent films. We really loved our main character, Kanto, who you saw in the video, and he's going away to high school next year. His body is changing quickly. So even though we don't have all of the finance we need, we've decided to go into production starting next month, shooting over 3 seasons. And we're looking for a co-production partner from a third territory or perhaps a sales agent to come in with the final piece of funding. Thank you.
Reading your script, I had the feeling that the nature plays an important role also for the culture of the Ainu. Maybe you could tell us something more how you'll deal with it filmically.
Right. So to Ainu's, yes, nature, like all the gods in Ainu's religion reside in nature. Well, not just nature, but so many different things, but mainly nature. And so we are mainly going to shoot with very like a naturalistic approach, but for the scenes when we shoot in nature or when some like supernatural things happen, like when Kanto's father visits him, we are going to use more controlled and a very different approach, but not like too dramatic, but subtle, the more restrained, and then that's something that to really insinuate the greater power in the nature and then behind Kanto.
Can you talk about your process of directing in terms of improvising and how are you going to use the script?
Yeah, well, basically, of course, there are some lines that I have to, ask them to read to make sense of the plot and then keep the story going. But as far as how they say, I'm not gonna ask them to memorize, and then they can say in their own words. And then I prefer that a lot more. That's how I shot this test scene as well, because that's their words and then how they say and then the things they say really show so much about who they are, and that's of course connected to the culture and everything. And so there's going to be some takes, and then we have to experiment a little bit, but we felt pretty good doing this scene, and then I think it can work.
And actually, I mean, most Japanese are quite misinformed when it comes to Ainu. This is going to be the first film about Ainu. Ainu were not actually recognized as an indigenous people in Japan until 10 years ago, when there was an important G8 summit in Hokkaido. And actually the run-up to the 2020 Olympics seems to us to be perhaps an opportunity to bring some focus to the issues of Ainu in Japan. And so definitely in Japan it will not only be for children, but for a wide range of audiences, we think.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Takeshi.